this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my own personal story about how I've been able to heal my gut health naturally. I'm going to share with you what I have learned as well as what I am doing right now to have an effective digestive system. We'll be covering stress, enzymes, and digestion, how they're all really connected, and how I improved my health using some natural remedies. This is part of my video series on the 10 healthy habits that are keeping me vibrant at 74. Your digestive system does a lot for you. It breaks down nutrients so that your body can absorb them to use for energy and growth and cell repair. You might not expect it, but your digestive health actually impacts all parts of your bodily processes, including immune and nervous system. My journey has probably five, stages or parts to it. The first one started over 35 years ago. And in 1 month's time, I lost over 15 pounds just without trying. And not being a person who was overweight, this was a lot of weight for me to lose. I remember I was so tired. I couldn't think straight. I just didn't have any energy to keep up with my 3 young children. And my stomach cramping was like, really, really bad. I couldn't keep anything in me. I put it in and it just, came out right away. After a whole lot of testing for probably everything you could think of that might be causing the problem, it was decided by my primary care physician with his consultation to internal doctors and stuff that I had IBS caused from a huge amount of stress that I had been under. See, my primary care doctor not only knew me, he knew everyone in my family as well. So he knew a lot of what was going on. This became a name it and claim it moment for me. It was a time that I needed to make some big changes in how I was handling and dealing with this huge amount of stress that I was under. It was stress that I didn't have a whole lot of control over. Life just throws things at you. I'm sure you know that. You've probably experienced it yourself. But there were things that I could do. And in my last video, I talk about ways that you can manage stress. Those are the exact same techniques that I use to help turn my situation around so I could keep food in me and gain a little bit of that weight back as well and have the energy I needed to stay up and at 'em and happy for my family. About 15 years after that was a time when doing a cleanse, those let's flush out your gut thing, became really, really popular. And they promised to, help your body to rid itself of unhealthy things and have better nutrient absorption. And of course, there was always the promise of shedding some weight, which I went like, that might be a good thing for me because I had been going through menopause and, I put on a little bit here and there. And so I figured I would give it a try. I had never done one before. This is one that I will never do again. It was so horrible an experience. And I have to tell you, I didn't lose any weight. I didn't feel better. I didn't have more energy. None of the things that they mentioned happened for me. And it left me hunting for the nearest bathroom all the time. I couldn't really get out. It reminded me of what had happened to me earlier with IBS. So I just went like, oh no. I was so glad when that cleanse period was over. I will admit, I didn't just swear off cleanses, I went ahead and tried some other ones probably a year or so later, not right away. And I still had not very good results with them. I found I was still hunting for the bathroom a lot and not, I just wasn't feeling as good as I thought should feel afterwards. And that was until I tried doTERRA's cleanse of using GX Assist. This is a little, as you can see, little black soft gel. And you take it for 10 days. What was really wonderful is I didn't have to look for the nearest restroom everywhere. That was made me really happy. I didn't have any cramping or unpleasant feelings. And I actually felt better at the end of it. But I think part of it was not only did the GX Assist help to get rid of all the bad bacteria, I was encouraged to take a probiotic. And a probiotic that contained both a pre and a probiotic. So it's a combination. Back then, when I first did it, it was in a little capsule. Now, what I'm doing is I'm taking this PB Assist. Got to make sure I got it up right for you. And what it is just open it up as little granulars. You can, pop it in your mouth like that. If you remember having Jello boxes and getting them as a kid and putting your finger and sticking it in the box and then it was so good. That's sort of what it reminds me of. One of the big bonuses that I've noticed is that by doing this particular cleanse on a regular basis, and by that I mean doing it 3 to 4 times a year, I noticed that my seasonal allergies had really gone down. I had them really bad before. And this, even when I was doing those other cleanses, I still have the allergies. This one must be really doing the job because I don't have the allergies hardly at all anymore. In fact, there are times and seasons I'm around people and they're complaining about their allergies and the juniper, is shedding all over, which used to drive my whole body crazy. I'm not even having an issue with it. So I'm pretty sure that, this is something really good for me. So I keep doing it. Before I started using this cleanse on a regular basis and following it with a probiotic, of course, I had been introduced to essential oils. And when I was introduced to them, I found this oil was handy for this, and lavender was great with my bug bites. But I got curious because they had an essential oil called Digestion. And Digestion was great because it helps your intestines. And I thought, this is like a real game changer for me because I used to love, well, I still love fish and chips. It's one of my favorite meals. But because of all the indigestion and pain that would be associated with every time I ate it, I stopped eating it. I stopped eating even French fries, and which is probably good because they're not so good for you. But every once in a while you want to enjoy yourself and have a little treat. So I thought I am going to try using this Digestion because when I've used it on just putting it on my stomach topically, it had really helped, my digestive issues. So why not give it a whirl with the real test of fish and chips? It worked. I had my fish and chips. I had some indigestion, a little bit of like, oh gosh, I'm not feeling so great. I put that Digestion on my stomach and I was surprised at how fast it calmed everything down. Now, I don't go out and have fish and chips all the time because it's not the healthiest meal to have, but we all deserve to treat ourselves once in a while. Wouldn't you agree? What's your favorite dish that you like to have? Tell me in the comments. The funny thing is that I have discovered I don't even need to use the Digestion hardly at all anymore. And I'm not really sure if it's because of doing the cleanses or if it's, the other oils, that I use, or this, or my healthy habits, the cleanses, what it is. I'm not real sure, but I know whatever it is, I'm going to keep doing these habits that I have acquired because I feel really, really good. Now, I keep getting older, as we all do, and so the years have gone by, and I noticed that even though I'm not hurting or whatever, my whole digestive system has gotten a little more sluggish, and sometimes I get bloated. So I started researching it out. And what I discovered is that enzymes, we don't make as many as we get older. In fact, by the time we're 55 years old, our production is down by 60%, which is quite a bit. Now, enzymes, what they do is they help your food be digested, the proteins and the fats and the carbohydrates, those big macronutrients. And when we produce less enzymes, it really impacts the effectiveness of our body to break down that food. And that's what's causing all the issue. I don't know if you're aware of this, but processed foods and foods that are cooked over 118 degrees essentially are void of enzymes. You need to eat more raw foods because they have the enzymes in them. And I do eat a lot of raw food, but not enough. And so, when I started eating more, that helped my body. But then after several years, I noticed I really needed some support. And about 6 years ago, I started taking this little capsule, miracle capsule for me. It's called Terrazyme, and it is an enzyme supplement. So I started taking it when I was about 68 years old. And I didn't take it all the time then. I would just take it the times when I maybe had a meal that didn't have that much raw food in it. And it was helpful. Now at 74, or before now even, I notice I need to take it with every meal. And it's just something, that's just the way it is. But because it helps so much, it is a supplement worth taking. So it's by doTERRA also. I've put the links for these supplements and things that I've mentioned down below for you. One of the nice things is that it has really made a big difference for me. I don't really experience bloating, pretty much non-existent. It only happens on a rare occasion, and I'm sure it's probably because I ate something that I don't normally eat, those little special occasions. But the other thing is, I notice I still have lots of energy. I don't possess any of that brain fog that so many other people in my age range talk about. I'm not sure if it's any of one of these specific things that I have mentioned, but I think it's a combination that has really helped my digestive system stay on track, be healthier, be like it's younger, so that I can have a full, vibrant life. Now, I know what I've shared with you is probably a lot, so let's do a quick review. What I am doing now is I am practicing my daily stress management techniques that I mentioned in my previous video. I'm also following my 10 healthy habits that I talked about in my other videos. And I am doing a cleanse 3 to 4 times a year. I also use the Digestion essential oil blend, but only as needed, and that's pretty rare. One bottle can last me over a year. And I take the daily enzyme, Terrazyme. If you have a question for me, put it in the comments. But if not, or maybe in addition, tell me what habit you would like to start. If you want some other ideas of healthy habits, be sure to catch my series.